But I also think, look, Rangi had a chance to beat his former teammate. And unfortunately, the better rugby brain won, which is, Razor. Razor, I think, is underrated in that sense, but we will soon see how he looks like in the international scene when he takes on the All Blacks in 2024 after the Fozzie show. And hopefully, like you say, Rog, I too hope that Fozzie goes out as a World Cup winner. That's not just for his own sake, but for fucking New Zealand. We all want to see that cup back here, right?
Yeah,
Whether it's Fozzie that is the coach behind it
and
or not.
I'll take that over my prediction of France winning. I'll have some sort of triumph in Foster having a bit of glory before he exits the coaching arena of the All Blacks. Only because, and that's selfish of me.
Mate, that's the only way he can salvage his time
Exactly.
in the All Blacks coaching.
I don't think it's salvageable.
Whoa, but see,
listen to the unforgiving crowd over here.
It doesn't matter whether he puts his right shoe on his left foot or his left shoe on the right foot. It doesn't matter what Foster does. You're going to have these naysayers, similar to Stacey Terianu, that it doesn't. He can't even buy a trick. He breathes. He's going to be criticised for breathing.
Honestly, the best value that an All Blacks coach can have is during World Cup year. I don't think those years in between matter so much.
So you imagine
as long as you win the World Cup.
Look at how we forgave Stephen Donald for his iniquities as a player. That one penalty kick made all the difference.
Honestly, if I was Stephen Donald, I would, every time I see Piri Wepu, fucking buy him a beer because Piri Wepu got him there.
Yeah.
All those endorsements that he got post rugby life, and now the travelling ambassador work that he gets is off the back of the kick. And so, what happened before that? Who cares? It's in Rugby World Cup folklore.
And he's really fucking going to town on that. He's riding that bloody coattail.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The reason why I say it's unsalvageable, and we talked about this on a previous podcast, where sort of like when the Kiwis won the League World Cup, it wasn't Stephen Kearney coached them to World Cup victory. It was Wayne Bennett, assistant coach, masterminded them to World Cup victory. And if the All Blacks win, it won't be Foster suddenly gave up 3 years of being Gaia and figured it out. It will be Joe Schmidt and Jason Ryan. Them coming on board and bringing their ideas, turn the All Blacks around. So that's why I think it's unsalvageable. Not necessarily because
it's opinion. That's not fact at all.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's fact or not. It's the same as Kearney. Maybe he was the mastermind that turned the Kiwis around, but he doesn't get the credit.
But the more that you say what you say and you put it out there on these platforms and social media, that's what people will see they'll be exposed to, and then that formulates an opinion and an ideology. And I believe that's what's happening here.
How do you explain the All Blacks being
who knows?
Bumbling along for 3 years and then turning it around.
Stacey,
now.
Not bumbling along. He's had a few losses here and there. Yep. admittedly, look, because the Irish test was a massive one. To lose a test series to Ireland never happened before. But he wasn't the coach at the time when they lost to Ireland before. And we've gone on about this in past pods, is that Steve Hansen was at the helm of the first loss to the Irish. Okay, no one talks about that. They only talk about Ian Foster having lost the series. And so they don't talk about the first loss at Soldier Field that we lost to the Irish. Was it Soldier Field? It was Soldier Field, wasn't it?
Chicago somewhere.
Yep. So, and that was under Hansen. So, is that just the Irish rugby just becoming better? Or was it or was it a bit of both? The All Blacks weren't good on the day. But we talked about how
he played Ireland 4 times, 1 win, 3 losses. He's got a 25% record against Ireland.
Yeah, and two of those losses was just last year.
0% win against France. These are the teams that are on his side of the draw. That's important to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in the same pool as France, where he's got a 0% win record.
So it's
If
the
they
way
win, they
you're
might play
wording
Ireland
it. It's the way you're wording
in the quarterfinals.
It's
25%
it's
win
on
record.
his side of the draw. It's the All Blacks side of the draw. The All Blacks are the ones.
But it's his
on the
reputation and it's his legacy on the line, right?
And that's why I believe he's going to go out riding high.
Why?
To be fair, those losses.
We'll see who gets the credit.
To be fair, those losses to Ireland for the first time, and the one where we lost the
Argentina. We lost to Argentina.
the one where we lost the winning streak that we had to Australia and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Where they fucking ended our winning streak, right? They were neutral grounds. We don't do too well on neutral grounds.
Well,
And again, that was a thing before Foster. That was a thing before Foster as well. Okay, we lost to Australia. Again, bringing back Stephen Donald, who was in charge. It wasn't Foster. It wasn't Foster.
We don't do too well on neutral grounds unless it's World Cup year. World Cup year is the only time we do well on neutral grounds. Anyway.
We'll see who gets the credit if the All Blacks do well. Because I'm pretty confident that it's going to be Mastermind Joe Schmidt and Jason Ryan. More so.
That's what you want to believe. I understand. That's what you want to believe. You don't want to give Foster any credit whatsoever. I get that. I get that. However, in the long after we're gone, it'll say in the history books that Foster was the head coach and he won a Rugby World Cup. Hopefully that's what happens. It's the head coach, similar to the players. Who was the captain? Who were the players? That was the team that played. We don't dismiss who the head coaches were. We give credit and acknowledge the assistants. But if the head coach for 2023, Ian Foster, can get a win, I believe that'll rewrite the legacy at the moment that a lot of New Zealanders are trying to remember him for.
Yeah.
No. It's going to be interesting. So we'll definitely keep the content flowing and get some more podcasts pumping out once the World Cup starts as well. But one thing I wanted to look briefly at, because we're going quite a lot over time, the All Blacks 15. I'm not sure if anyone's caught any of their games, but they beat Japan 41-27. So I'm not sure if anyone watched it, but just wondering, Joey, I'll get your words. Are you seeing anyone potentially forcing their way into the All Blacks from that All Blacks 15?
I'm biased, so Etienne and Anaise Toro is one that I would expect to be there or thereabouts at some point, especially when Whanganuku leaves. They'll have to fill that gap somehow, and I'm picking Etienne to have a say in that. But other than Etienne, I think it's